Welcome to the Stargate Finance Community Call, where we discuss proposals and ideas that will help shape and govern the Stargate Protocol. Feel free to join the conversation on stage anytime you have a question by clicking on the Raise Hand button at the bottom of the screen. You can also chime in through the voice text channel in Discord or any of the chats for those listening in through YouTube and Twitch, as these channels all aggregate the messages together. So just a reminder, this is not financial, accounting, or legal advice. Please do your own research. But, all right. One cool thing that we dropped yesterday, Galaxy and Optimism Quest. So seeing a bit of traction behind that. If you haven't seen that already, that's you can head over to app.optimism.io/quests. So very similar, kind of like the Arbitrum Odyssey kind of quest. Optimism doing something very similar through Galaxy, which used to be Project Galaxy. And basically there's a few other protocols that are also performing quests as well alongside with this. I think there's 12 in total, maybe. Stargate being it's kind of nice because it's listed first on the page there when you go over to Optimism. And I think just looking this morning, there's over 3,000 people who have already completed the quest. So there's you have to do a little quiz. And then the other part of the quest is bridging $100 or 100 USDC to or from Optimism. So I'm glad to see that there's like a lot of engagement around it, that people are excited about it. There is like a little bit of a wait period just because Galaxy has to update on their side. They have to update the list of contributors or something like this. Just the way it worked out here for this quest. So if you have done it and you're still like wondering why you aren't able to claim, just wait, give it an hour or two, and it should be refreshed and updated. And I've seen a lot of people in the chats, they come back and they're able to get it. So should be all good. And and then they go and claim the Stargater ONFT as well. So once you have that Galaxy credential, I can't remember. Yeah, I think you need to have the credential and have the bridging completed, and then you'll be able to go claim that. So you can head over to the website is in the announcement. Let me grab that. Or if anybody knows, actually, I could just try and copy past all of those links into. So there's. Actually, can anybody beat me to it to try and drop those links in? Let's see here. Copy. We'll drop all that stuff in there for everyone here in a second. It's from the announcements in Discord, but we can put that up in the voice text channel this way here. It goes across all the there. Cool. So you can hit up any of those links there for where the campaign's taking place and happening. So hopefully everybody's done that, and just let us know any thoughts on that, or if any issues or anything. But should be all good at this point. And then last week we had a couple of proposals that had passed as well. The first one, SIP 15. Was for deploying an Arrakis Vault for the Unity v3 position for Stargate USD pool. That has passed with a 50%. For 50% of the capital, or like the TVL on Optimism to get put into an Arrakis Vault. So there was a couple different tiers, and
Maybe I can just chime in here, Tango, if you don't mind.
That would be great.
So for Arrakis, basically, like what we're going to be doing, the range is that one was 50%. So 50% of the POL that is on Optimism will be basically moving to Arrakis, where we will have like a tighter range, meaning liquidity will be more efficient in general. What we're looking at right now is basically like the auction price minus 50%, and basically like 1 to 125 for the range. of course, like this will be adjusted as price goes up or down. Hopefully, we also gonna deploy the remaining 50% on Beethoven X to act as like just casual arbitrage and also dampen if there's any issues with Arrakis. So that is the plan on optimism. We will also at the same time do, so we need to do a proposal for this. We're also going to do a proposal for the main POL on Ethereum, so the 50 million on Curve. 50% will probably, we're exploring, nothing is set in stone at the moment, but we're exploring moving it 50% to Balancer. What is triggering this decision, or kind of this thinking, is mainly regarding the swapping fees, which are quite minimal on Curve. We're going to be able to 3x basically like the swap fees to 1% on Balancer, while starting to, we were also kind of exploring and kind of observing what was happening with the bribing on Curve and so on. What I found out is basically like the main whales on Convex were basically like dumping Stargate. There was absolutely no kind of staking and so on. I don't think this is rightfully aligned. So, we're kind of exploring ways to mitigate this. The current, if we were to be successful, the proposal and so on, 50% would stay on Curve. We still have, almost over 700,000 Curve deployed over there. We have, basically like a pretty nice kind of loop happening. But personally, I think it would be more meaningful and more efficient for Stargate to basically like separate part of the POL. People can still use aggregator and basically like get the best price, while basically like the POL earning top amount of APY and so on. So if anyone has any question, like happy to answer also on this front. But that would be, I guess, what is happening on the front of POL, incentivization, bribes. So this will mitigate sell pressure. We will be able to basically halve the amount of bribes per 2 weeks, going from 50,000 ish to 25,000. So that should in theory help out. So yeah, that's kind of a little overall overview of what is happening on this front.
Excellent. So yeah, thanks for all the stuff on the bribes and whatnot, and then you say as far as the Arrakis pool, that just some next steps with that, like that should be set up. I don't know how
it should be done by end of this week per se. The pool is already the pool is being created today. We're gonna have to do like some multi-sig kind of magic, and then afterward, like it should be up and running. We will announce when this is up and when this is ready, basically.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I think I can't remember what I looked at last time. It was like maybe 600,000 or 700,000 was the total amount on TVL on Optimism, but yeah, so 50% of that, so that's like 350, and then that's squashed into a Uni V3 position. That should that's still pretty going to be quite liquid there, or like actually provide better, quite a bit better slippage and liquidity in that sense.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, cool. So any questions on that, please let us know. Drop us into the text questions, or raise your hand. We can get you up here if you have further questions on it. But yeah. And then the other proposal that we had that came through was the additional assets. So adding DAI, FRAX, SUSD, and LUSD as transferable pairs. All of those staying isolated, or I guess contained within their own pair, or not pair, I guess, but their own pools. So you wouldn't be able to go from like DAI to FRAX. It would have to be DAI to DAI across networks. That way, they're all contained. And I look back, I'll look back at the proposal here, but I think it was, there will be some incentivization in order to just get those pools kind of bootstrapped and put it on for a small time period, and then do an analysis, see how that goes. But I think, more assets, the better. And yeah, hopefully, this shouldn't take too long to get set up, but a little bit of development work to do all that, some front end stuff, just wiring all that stuff up. But Uh, Ray J, what have you got for us here? I am not up to speed on the latest stablecoin regulation on all that. I'll have to follow up.
I think so. What I understood very briefly, and that's without any legal advice or else. Basically, any new algorithmic stablecoin could be will be quote unquote banned or in trouble in the US. But anything that is over collateralized, so something like DAI, LUSD, would be okay. The problem, in my opinion, is when things are quite blurry, like Frax, where they can mint out of thin air potentially, but also kind of be collateralized by USDC. I don't know how this is gonna play out for them, but in theory, if they are a stable coin that is not pegged to the USD, they should be fine. From what I kind of saw briefly. Anyways, we're gonna probably have more traders and basically analysts kind of give us like the right picture over the next few days while this kind of evolve. But basically, like, it's targeted over Luna, Terra, and so on, UST, things like that, rather than your run of the mill kind of, I don't know, DAI, Go, etc.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to do a little more research on all that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you, Ray J, for popping that in here. But yeah, as far as like Zulian mentioned here, that the top 3 stables believes they're fine. But yeah, please, everybody do your own research on all this sort of thing. But 2-year grace period, and most things don't go into effect for another year. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. That's all kind of stuff that's outside of. Yeah, yeah, that's U.S. regulation stuff. So we'll just stay tuned to see what more and more comes out with that. Yeah, but as far as those, DiFrax, SUSD, LUSD, yeah, obviously being able to hopefully drive more attraction and interest to Stargate, and yeah, just more options for.
And by the way, like, I might as well kind of chime in here, Tangle. With kind of these new assets kind of being added to Stargate, this kind of open up like a gate, I guess, or kind of a new universe for us to dip into, rather than just like focus on like the big USDC, USDT, and so on. You could potentially start seeing also like governance token appearing on Stargate potentially. As you may know, we had like quite a successful integration with Sushi. They are already actually have deployed strategies on Bento Box to leverage Stargate, meaning that any reserve of Sushi, like wrap Bitcoin, Sushi token itself, or other governance token being provided on the AMM, on Furo, on Cashi, etc., will be able to be deposited in Stargate to earn additional yield while also being productive. So this is extremely interesting, because then that means protocols similar to other Balancer, Curve, or else could in theory deposit their asset in Stargate to make sure they are like transferable everywhere. And what is, in my opinion, like the most interesting or powerful thing is Stargate holder could potentially enable meta governance on these assets. So while they're sitting in the pools and being used to transfer value from Arbitrum to mainnet to Polygon and so on, well, they could also be used to vote on proposal or earn potentially, depending on the way they work and so on. I'm pretty sure this could be happening. That also expose kind of Stargate holder to potential other value accrual mechanism if there was like airdrops and so on. That is something basically like the DAO would need to also potentially look onto at some point. And the way we would distribute or capitalize on this, should this go on POL, should this stay there, etc., etc. So anyway, some just more use cases, more utility in general for Stargate is always better in my opinion. And whenever like you have a governance token you want to transfer across all these chains, well, Stargate will potentially be the more liquid one in the future. So you can expect proposal on governance on various governance forum. You can also expect more integration with all these kind of tiers. So
Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. Being able to branch out into other protocols to have them, bring the liquidity that's just sitting there, whether it's from the
from the
treasury.
treasury, exactly. I mean, the amount of, if you go on openorg .info, I think at the moment, the amount of protocol that own like over 50 to 100 million with governance token that are sitting idle doing absolutely nothing, while like basically like people have trouble transferring across all these chains, or have basically like are not even on money markets or else. This could be possible now with adding basically Stargate to the playbook of how a treasury should be well managed.
Ooh, ooh, playbook management. There you go. Yeah, that seems like a really positive thing that could come out, and just allowing more tokens to have that better liquidity through other networks, and through a safe, secure mechanism. I think that seems like a very big win. So we'll keep an eye out and keep looking for that as proposals and whatnot kind of come out, because it really makes more sense to do something like that. All right. That's kind of like all we've got here for today. Lots of like cool things to be coming up here with more assets, like we were mentioning, and some potential other ideas here for that Maki's been sharing with us. And I don't know if anyone else has comments or anything. Traditional when Solana question. Soon TM. I don't know the exact dates on this, but it is like obviously getting tighter and tighter here. We've mentioned Aptos, Sui, and Solana all being the next things here. So I would hope October, but I don't have definitive timelines on that, and I don't want to be held to anything. So, that's what I've got for you. October it is. Oh, geez. Great stuff. Okay. Well, if I don't know if anyone else has final comments, if anything else, please bring it in through Discord in the text questions, or the voice text channel. And I do see, thank you, somebody from YouTube that's chiming in. Great to see that some comments coming in that way. So thank you. I think we're over at Twitch as well. But if nothing else here, probably a great place to wrap up. But thanks everybody for coming out today for this. And you'll be able to follow up on this on YouTube. This will be up shortly hereafter. If you are on YouTube listening away, whether you're live or following up on this, please like and subscribe. And stay in tune with everything that's going on here. Here's a question from Prince Agra. Here is just before we were wrapping up here. Enjoy using this tech. I think it's dope. How are plans to expand utility to partners, DEXs, and other protocols? We just talked about a few things here with more, with adding more assets in, and of course, other DEXs and things like that. I'm sure as more and more people are seeing like what's happened with Sushi X Swap, that will have more interest. And I think like there's likely some things in the works and brewing with all of this. So obviously stay tuned with that, but definitely like all stuff on the radar here. And as we were talking about here with utility and whatnot earlier on, having that in even something as simple as like sushi, putting it into the bento box, to being able to like have a strategy against it, so being able to generate some yield that way. So obviously that is more and more of that stuff's going to come out here, further integrations, further people utilizing Stargate. It's only going to keep expanding and continuing. So hopefully that helps you there, Prince Agra. And okay. I don't know where I was here. Was I was wrapping up as that question came in, but yeah, like and subscribe on YouTube and yeah, and then on if you're over on Twitter, thanks for joining us over there. Hopefully the sound quality is all right. And yeah, if you ever wanted, you can always hop over into Discord if there's any if you wanted to interact there as well. But hopefully that went for you. And yeah, other than that, we'll see.
Maybe just I think we had confirmation that most of the dev team will be at DevCon this year. By the way, I don't know if this has been announced yet. So I just had the confirmation a few days ago. So anyways, we will potentially have, I don't know if there's going to be events or things organized, but we will keep the community in touch, and hopefully I can meet some people over there. All right.
Oh,
So
alrighty, everyone. There you have it. Thanks a lot for joining us this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks from now. Same channels, wherever you'd like to find us across Discord, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch. We are trying to get to you absolutely everywhere. Thanks again, and go complete that quest if you haven't already over on app.optimism.io .quests. I think that was what it was, right? Yeah. All right. Talk to you all later. Ciao, ciao.